We'll get underway. Good afternoon, everyone. This is the Candidates Forum for the position of on-campus representative for the 2007-2008 Legislative Council. And we are joined by 10 candidates for the position of on-campus representative. And we will begin our forum with opening statements from each of our candidates. You'll have a 1 minute time frame for an opening statement. Then we'll get into some questions. Some of the questions will be a minute response time or a 30-second response time, depending on the question. And then we'll have a closing opportunity for closing statements for also 1 minute at the end. So with that said, we will get underway, and we will start right here with Trevor with a 1 minute opening statement.
Okay, my name is Trevor Lyon. I'm running with Students Party for on-campus rep. And probably my biggest goal in wanting to be on-campus rep is just creating coalitions and making connections. There's just so many resources available and that are especially geared towards first-year students, which is the majority of the on-campus residents. One example of such a program is the Wellness Program, which is bringing together all these services that are crucial in the academic and social integration of students into the UCSB community. And I think the resources are there, and it's really just a matter of kind of bringing that visibility to the residents and letting them know that and building the habits that they can use throughout the rest of their remainder years at UCSB, and just that are really, really crucial in their success. So that's really my main goal and something I'm really focusing on. So, Trevor Timo Line, Students Party, vote for me.
Hi, I'm Radhika. I'm running for the position of on-campus rep with Students Party. My focus when I'm elected is making our education affordable. I think it is our right to have an affordable education, but fees have been rising, and we need to lobby Sacramento and DC to make to lower our fees and get more financial aid because they've been cutting this. This is what I've been doing in the last year. I was involved with student lobby. We went to Sacramento. We went to DC. We'll go again to Sacramento, so our education is more affordable. By making it more affordable, we can maintain diversity on campus and increase it too. And this is really important to our campus. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Paulina Abustan, and I'm running for on-campus rep with Students Party, and I'm involved a lot at UCSB. I love UCSB, and next year I'd just like to see more students engaging in the atmosphere and doing more around the campus. I'm involved in Kapitarang Filipino, and I'm a member of Education Opportunity Program, and I'd like to let students know that they do have a voice, they do have the power to make change on our campus, and there's so many resources available to them. And I'm also involved with Associated Students, Student Lobbying, and Student Commission on Racial Equality. I'm planning a Facing Race Commission right now, conference, and I'd just like students to know next year that they can get involved, and there's so much to do at UCSB, and AES is there to support them.
Hi, I'm Ashish. I'm running for on-campus rep with Students Party, and I'm currently a resident FT. I wanted to get involved with AS this year just because I didn't know what AS was about. Now that I'm in it, I'm loving it. I'm involved with Hall Council at FT. Love it. And as on-campus rep, I just want to be the voice of the students. So if they have any needs that they need, I can help them with that. If parking is a big issue, I can help with that. Whatever they need, I'm there for them. That was one of my main reasons for living on campus next year, is to be the voice of the students. I know I can make a change, and it'll be a great year. Thanks.
Hello, UCSB. My name is Alan Romero, and I'm running for on-campus rep for next year with OPP. I'm a first year here in UCSB, and I'm loving it. The campus, the people here, but the most important thing for me is the students here in UCSB. If elected, I would administer my duties with full attention, with all seriousness, and with full honor. I'm here to tackle issues that really affect us, the community with diverse people. I will make myself accessible by all means possible. If that means that I must put myself out there and reach out to the students, then that's what I will do. Remember, UCSB, it's all about you. You should be the ultimate voice for this campus and everything that goes on. Again, my name is Alan Romero. Vote for me, on-campus rep, OPP.
Hey, UCSB, my name is Chris Wendell, and I'm running for on-campus rep with OPP. I came to UCSB because of the atmosphere, the people, the location, and the amount of involvement. I think involvement is a huge part in the college experience. And, you know, with students participating, writing for the newspaper, being involved in student government, playing intramural sports, or being even a tutor on campus, it definitely brings up the students' attitudes, and the campus is just a better place to be. We already have a great involvement here at campus with over 460 clubs, and our involvement rate is double the national average. So I want to continue that reputation, encouraging involvement. And I mean, with students' ideas and hearing what they're about, hopefully we can see results and make UCSB the best place to be. Chris Wendell, OPP.
Hi, I'm Samantha Stinnett, and I'm running for on-campus rep with OPP. And my goal in being in student leadership for the past 2 years has been to make everyone, all the students on campus, really feel like they've got a connection somewhere, whether that be in a club or in student government or helping out, making IV a better place. And I feel like in doing that, you have to listen to the students' voices and take action upon what they want, and increase awareness of opportunities that AS funds and opportunities within AS itself and the resources on campus. In addition to that, being extremely accountable as representatives and in any actions that we do. Samantha Stinnett, Open People's Party.
Hi everyone, my name is Ashley Day. I'm running for on-campus rep with OPP. I just want to say that right now I'm a president of Hall Council, Las Encinas Quad in Manzanita, and I also have held the vice president position there. I just want to say in every aspect of leadership, every year that I've done any position of leadership, my biggest things are communication and respect. And because I respect you, I want to make sure that we get a conversation going between AS and the students. I want to make sure that we can hear what you have to say so that we can better represent you. Right now I feel that AS isn't quite sure what the students are thinking because the students aren't involved enough. Getting the residents, getting you involved, getting you to have a conversation with us so that we know what you want will better represent you. Thank you. I'm Ashley Day.
My name is Ryan Kumar. I'm running for an on-campus rep with OPP. I think I am very qualified for this job. My first year here, I was a floor rep for San Miguel Hall Council, and this year I've been on RHA Court Board as a rep at large, where I've continued to represent San Miguel. My main goal in AS would be to make sure that first years are represented. Oftentimes, especially in Ledge Council, people don't really think about what first years or what residents want. They're more concerned with off-campus IV issues, which is great, except that there isn't really anyone that ever advocates saying, this is going on in the residence hall, so this is what's happening with first years, especially because first year council has been defunct. I would be there to make sure that first years are represented and that people are actually looking out for them instead of having this attitude, that they're just first years, they don't really know what they want, they don't, shouldn't be very represented. So I would make sure that first years are represented and that I would make sure that AS is actively involved in making residents and their experience better.
Good. All right, thank you very much. Is it pronounced Narain?
Narain.
Narain, thank you. Narain, we're going to start with you for this first question and come back down the table. This will be a 30-second response, if you don't mind. What types of specific legislation would you bring to the table if you were elected?
I would, personally, I would like to work with parking, especially given what's happened with parking, the new structures, proposed fee increases. I would work with transportation and parking services to make sure that through ballot or through means of direct funding, that there were better places to park and that students could still be able to park on campus, because I think that is a right that all students have. So I would work with transportation parking services to put things on the ballot so that students could maintain their night and weekend permits.
My name's Ashley Day. I agree with Narain for parking, but also I think a very important issue in legislation would be to continue and increase funding for programs such as CLAS and other tutoring and support programs for students on campus. I've personally used CLAS. They're amazing programs, and I think to help students get through their 4 years here at UCSB, and especially their years on campus, is one of the best things we could do.
Samantha Stinnett. To tag on another issue to my fellow colleagues, an issue that I feel is important is students not being mistreated by administration, however that means. So a big issue in the residence hall is MySpace and Facebook pictures being used against them, and I feel that that is their private space, and to work along with administration to find the balance of where students' rights end and where administration begins.
As Noreen mentioned, I also agree with first years being underrepresented, and I would work towards a first-year council. It was already brought up in AS this year, but I would work to continue that, be able to represent the first years. With 23% of the students who live on campus, 23% of UCSB students who live on campus, and most of them being freshmen, I think that would be a high goal, a high priority for myself.
Alan Romero for OPP. I think I agree with with Chris when he says that we need to sort of increase, for the freshmen to have more knowledge in terms of AS and what it does. I think as of now, most freshmen really have little or no idea of what AS. I personally have seen that a lot, and I think we need to educate them, inform them, so they could better make better informed decisions.
Ashish Patel, Students Party. Specifically, we have a new student resource building on campus. Most students don't know about that place. I know specifically, I live in FT, a lot of students ask me what goes on there, what is this new building? And they don't understand the wealth of opportunities they have there. They have CLAS, they have counseling programs, everything you need is available there. So specifically trying to get students to know that there are places for them if they're in trouble, if they need help with school, anything like that. So Ashish Patel, Students Party. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Paulina Abustan, Students Party, and next year I'd like to stress fiscal transparency with AS. I like all the students to know where their money is going and how their fees are being paid, and I'm very involved with UCSA and different orgs trying to actually stop these tuition fees and hikes, and I've attended protests at UCLA and conferences at UC Davis, and I'm really passionate of just lowering these tuition fees and making sure that students are aware of where their money is going. Thank you. Students Party.
Radhika Koshare with Students Party. Next year, I want to make meal plans more flexible so we could swipe for our friends or have meals roll over. Right now, we have a test program going on for this, and I hope based on the results at the end of the quarter, we can make the plans more flexible.
Definitely, that was one that I was looking to. Fellow Nate Wildwood, fellow on-campus rep from Students Party, actually pioneered that program, and that's definitely a specific issue that I'd like to work on and keep working towards and finding new options. But also, just reiterating what my colleagues have said, it's just the resources, getting that out there, and maybe there needs to be some sort of committee or some sort of oversight and how that advertising and how we do outreach to these first-year students, because it's obviously an issue. It's been brought up time and time again, and we need to come up with new innovative ways to make ourselves available.
All right, thank you. This next question, we'll give you a minute to respond. We'll start with Trevor on this side of the table. In order to represent a racially diverse campus such as this one, our leadership must reflect it. Do you agree or disagree with this statement, and why?
Oh, I totally agree. Perspectives, we can only come from the one place that we come from. Everyone brings different experiences and different perspectives with them, and if we don't have a government that's representative of those different experiences, they're not going to be able to understand, they're not going to be able to bring up the relevant issues, and voices are going to be neglected. So I 100% agree with that, and I make it a personal goal of mine to try and hang out with as many different communities, be that the Greek system or different in the queer community, and just kind of really expand my horizons and try and see the pertinent issues and do my best to kind of see things from different perspectives.
Radhika with Students Party, I totally agree with what Trevor said. Having a diverse leadership means that there will be many experiences that people will bring to the table that brings many new issues, because most of us only see things in one perspective, and we need to look at things from multiple perspectives. And having a diverse leadership is very beneficial, just because we will look at things from so many different viewpoints and we will come up with new solutions. Thank you.
Paulina Abustan, Students Party, and yes, diversity is key to our education, and we need student leaders who will actually reach out and outreach the students of a diverse population, making sure that their voices and their issues are heard. So I'm actually on the Student Commission on Racial Equality, and I'm hoping to bring more outreach, more academic programs to minorities and students of color. So thank you, Students Party.
Hi, I'm Ashish Patel, Students Party. I definitely agree with that statement. I think diversity is key on our campus. I'm in Hall Council right now. There are a variety of people in that, and it's definitely Hall Council is a place where different views are represented. Our campus, especially next year with first-year students, I believe that with different students, there's going to be different mentalities, and with those mentalities, there's going to be different things that they want. And if they can rely on us to represent their needs, then I feel that they will be comfortable in an environment, such as the residence halls where they'll be living. I live at FT, and I know that's 1/3 of the student population for first years, and they definitely have a voice too, so I want to represent them also, because I know a lot of times they feel out of the loop with everything that's going on campus. Thank you, Ashish Patel, Students Party.
Alan Romero, OPP. I absolutely agree with everybody that what they just said. Coming from a place like Berkeley, where it's very diverse with many ideas, I feel that I've learned so much from other people and sort of their inputs. Diversity is important because it establishes more ideas which only inform us. And when we become better informed, we make better decisions in terms of the whole population. Many of the problems in the world with corrupt societies are attributed to ignorance and lack of understanding of their constituents' beliefs. And I feel because of this school is diverse, we need to reflect that in terms of leadership, because then we could really understand and sort of be an instrument to what they have to say. OPP.
Chris Wendell, Open People's Party. I personally was brought up in a Korean culture, and coming to UCSB, I've met a lot of different kinds of people. And it's always interesting to talk to students and hear their kind of story from where they were raised and the culture that they experienced through time. And I definitely think it's important for leadership here on campus, not only in AS, but different organizations, to offer programs to educate the students of UCSB, let people know what's going on, let people know about traditions and different ways that they were raised in order to keep that open mind and have that the diversity at UCSB. Chris Wendell, Open People's Party.
Samantha Stinnett, running with OPP. Diversity on campus is a huge issue that makes this campus amazing, an amazing place to be. And I believe it's necessary in a place of higher learning to have diversity of opinion, which stems from the diversity of where everyone's come from and the way they were raised and the culture they were brought up in. And diversity is necessary to be representative of all the students and residents, as to not marginalize students and residents that live on campus. Samantha Stinnett, thank you.
Ashley Day for OPP. I grew up both in America and in Spain, and I understand the beauty of diversity. In leadership, it's especially important, and especially here at UCSB, we strive really hard to make our campus as diverse as possible. So to understand and represent our residents, we need to be diverse too. I think I agree that all of the programs for diversity, for minorities, for racial groups, and also for different mindsets. I think that just mindsets is a big part of diversity as well, and getting information out there to students, encouraging students to travel abroad, to study abroad. I think those are all important things for continuing the diversity of our campus. So I just think that, yeah, as diverse as we can be is better, and that we just need to continue to encourage all of our residents to go out, to learn, to use their resources to become more diverse and more open-minded. Ashley Day.
Narayan Kumar, Open People's Party. I would actually agree with more or less what everyone in this table has said. Diversity is essential for our campus, because without diversity, we won't really understand each other. We'll all be coming from the same narrow perspective, and that way, not only will we not truly represent people, but we won't be able to really be doing our jobs, because we won't know where people are coming from, what they're thinking, and what they want us to do as their representatives. As leaders in government, our job isn't necessarily to do just what we want to do. Our job is to represent our constituents and make sure that their voices are being heard. Without coming from diverse and different backgrounds, we can't do that. Without knowing what experiences people have been through and what they value, we can't represent them. So without diversity, we really can't function and we can't do our jobs. So because we come from such different backgrounds, because we've all been through such different experiences, it gives us, the value to see other people's opinions, and it allows us to more effectively do our jobs. So I would agree with the statement that yes, diversity is essential for us.
All right, thank you very much, candidates. Narain, we will start with you to begin this next question. You will have a minute to respond. How do you feel about UCSB's reputation as a party school? Do you feel it is a problem, and if so, what will you do to change it?
I agree that we definitely have a very strong reputation as a party school. it isn't, I don't know if problem is the word I would use, but it is a concern of mine. Because while there are many students that do like to party, I think there are a lot of students who don't particularly enjoy that, whole atmosphere, that whole party scene. And by encouraging a reputation of being a party school, we tend to marginalize and ignore those people. What I would do to encourage, a reputation beyond that of a party school would be to encourage alternative programming. For those people that don't want to go out and party, on weekend nights, I would encourage, look at what happened this year with the after-hours program in the Hub. We had continuous late-night programming for 5 weeks. Every Friday and Saturday night, there was an event going on. For people that didn't want to go and party, there was that option. And I think by encouraging that, we better represent those students and cater to what they really want.
Ashley Day with OPP. I feel that within our campus, our school itself is not a party school. You don't see people out dancing and drinking and doing whatever within the residence halls, within the campus lecture halls. The party is in IV. The party is in the surrounding areas. I agree with Narain that providing alternative programming is very important for those who don't want to party, and also to show that we have other focuses too on this campus. Being a hall president, I've put on many programs this year with my hall council, and they have been successful and lots of fun. So yeah, increasing the amount of programming we do on campus, I think will greatly influence the reputation we have as a school in general.
Samantha Stinnett, running with OPP. I would agree that our school is known for the party reputation. I know that when I came here and told all my friends, we decided this is a school I'm going to go to, all they had to say was, oh, wow, you must want to party. And I feel like there are people that come to the school to party, but there are also people that come to do other things in addition to IV. And I feel that IV is centralized, unlike a lot of campuses in the nation, and that just fuels our reputation. That it's not necessarily that we party more, it's that all the partying takes place in a centralized place. And I believe that alternative programming is a huge thing on campus. As a representative for St. Nicholas last year, I put on 3 to 5 programs with my hall council a week. They were always well attended on weekend nights, and it was a huge deal. And I really feel that alternative programming is the way to combat the reputation. Thank you.
My name is Chris Wendell, running with OPP, and I'm currently a Gaucho tour guide, and a lot of questions that come up are interesting. And the question that always seems to get brought up is, can you talk about UCSB and its party school reputation? It's kind of awkward talking to parents about that, but I iterate that UCSB is a great place to be with a 91% retention rate, and our 5 Nobel Prize winners located on campus. Students really do work hard. And then also being on the Judicial Review Board here at UCSB, I can see the problems that it does cause for residents on campus, and I see the problems, and those students sometimes do need help and those kind of things, but I know it's important. A lot of students don't like to party, and being an on-campus representative, I'd work towards having the residence halls make sure that there's programs for those who choose not to party and those kind of things. Chris Wendell, OPP.
Alan Romero, OPP. And that's an interesting topic, because the first thing that, every time I tell my friends that I go to UCSB, the first thing they tell me is like, wow, you are so lucky. And the reason is for the party sort of reputation. And although I understand that it is part of the social aspect of life here in UCSB, it certainly isn't the only thing. There are plenty of people that I know that are not part of the party scene. Now, I agree with what everybody here has said says that we need to create more programs for alternatives to the parties. And those that do party, we need to educate them in how to party safer. And we need to also educate them in order to inform them how it can affect their education so that it won't be detrimental to their educational experience here in UCSB. Alan Romero, OPP.
Ashish Patel, Students Party. The UCSB is a party school, but I don't think that is a bad thing necessarily. For me, I came to UCSB because I like their work hard, play hard mentality. On the weekdays, most students are working hard, but then on the weekend there is time to let loose. And the definition of party is also kind of not like definitely like it means like going out and having fun, but kids can party and like have a good time without drinking and doing things like that. Like there is a concern within the residence halls, I know that, but there have been many programs that have been put on to help students with that. I know some of the best nights I've had here have been just hanging out with my friends in the residence halls just at night, on a Friday night, just hanging out. There's movie nights, there's different programs on campus, there's theaters. I mean, you can go to theater, there's concerts, there's speakers, there's so much you can do besides party scrimmage, but that is an alternative. These are alternatives for people who don't like to party per se, but definitely I think our school's well-rounded in that aspect. Thank you. Ashish Patel, Students Party.
Hi, I'm Paulina Bustan, Students Party, and I'd like to say that I strongly believe in a well-balanced life, and that involves a social life and also academics, and I believe that UCSB is a wonderful school and that we're maintaining that balance. And also there's many programs out there for students who don't like to party or don't want to party all the time. There's a bunch of wellness events held, and there's hiking, there's trips to the museum, there's theater, there's musicals, there's so many things that you can get involved other than partying. And there's also safe ways to party with healthy eating and living. And I took a sex and relationships internship class, and there's so many ways where you can find more information and get involved. And next year, I'd just like the students to know that there are options for students to be in a safe and friendly environment at UCSB. So thank you, Paulina Bustan, Students Party.
Radhika for Students Party. Being a student here, I know that there's a balance between partying and academics and that there's no pressure to party. However, I'm concerned about outsiders who don't know about this respect, and this is why I think we really have to work on educating visitors about IV being a party place, but also a safe space so that the residents on campus are respected when going partying.
Trevor Lyon, Students Party. I definitely see our reputation as a party school as being problematic because having those expectations coming in, this is going to be a party school, it's kind of self-perpetuating, where some of that party culture, if people aren't kind of acclimating to it, they kind of feel out of place. And I think it really has to do with changing the perception of that. And like Paulina said, just showing that balance is key. And that's what we should really be striving for. And I think there's all sorts of resources already in place, especially through Student Health, again, their wellness program, and maybe some of their other programs like CASE and SAM, in changing that perception of this place as a party school, or even if that being necessarily something that you aspire to, like definitely focus on that balance and that well-roundedness, because that's what's going to make quality students here at UCSB, and that's what we should be about.
Thank you, folks. This next question will be a 30-second response. We'll start with Trevor. If you could change one thing about UCSB, what would it be?
This is a really, really difficult question, but if I could change one thing about UCSB, it would definitely be that just that people talk to each other more, just that there be more communication, more working together, and I think through that, a lot of the problems we'd see, it has a lot to do with communication and opening those lines of communication, so definitely more communication.
Radhika for Students Party. One thing I would really like to work on is cutting down the bureaucracy in AS. Many people don't know how to get involved in AS. They're not really sure what AS exactly does, or what the boards are for, so it's kind of hard for people to get involved, and I really would like to change that.
Paulina Abustan, Students Party, and over the next few years at AS, I'd like to see more political activism within the students, because I know that our school once was pretty strong in movements and everything, and I know that the students out there, once aware of the issues going on and once more informed, would want to do more things with AS and unite as a students body to do more in our school. So thank you, Students Party.
Ashish Patel, Students Party. One thing that I want to work on as on-campus rep would be to create a more trusting and caring environment within the residence halls. There's plenty of students that feel well-adjusted in the residence halls, but there's also a large majority that do not feel that they're fitting in. So I want to create programs help out with that to make sure students feel that the best they can in the residence halls, and so they can thrive here at UCSB. Thank you. Ashish Patel, Students Party.
Alan Romero, OPP. I think we need to bridge the gap between the students and the university through AS. I think one thing we need to do is sort of educate the students on how to better involve themselves in order to voice their opinions and sort of display their issues so that they can be part of a change on this campus. Alan Romero, OPP.
Chris Wendell, OPP. My goal would be to as an on-campus rep would be to bridge the gap between first years and the rest of the campus. There's so many organizations that so many people don't know about, and it's always important to start your first year and be able to work 4 years at the university towards something you enjoy to do. Chris Wendell, on-campus rep.
Samantha Stinnett, OPP. I think the one thing I would focus on is educating residents on what UCSB has to offer, and one of those things is the diversity here. And I've worked with Not in Our Hall for the last 2 years on educating residents on diversity, and that's something that I wish to continue and bring to AS. That way AS has a bigger role in making the students and residents feel safe in their homes. Thank you.
Ashley Day, OPP. I think something that the events in the last few days with Virginia Tech has really brought to my mind is I'd like to see some programs started up to try to get everybody involved. There are always those people who you think they're doing just great, they're just a little more introverted, and I'd just like to see programs where we have people who are dedicated to finding the people that need help and need friendship and being able to provide some of that friendship for them so that we don't have incidents like this happen again. Ashley Day, OPP.
Narain Kumar, OPP. If I had to change one thing about UCSB, I think it would be sort of voter apathy here. Most people, especially, pretty much most people here at UCSB don't really know what AS does. They don't know how AS is spending their money. And they don't really care. I think, that is a problem. We can't really represent people if they don't, want to know what's going on in their government. Especially, if they don't care when Finance Board gives away tens of thousands of dollars, when Ledge Council passes resolutions which they may disagree with. I think that, we need to make sure that people are aware of what AS is doing and that they're more involved in it.
Great, thank you very much. Narain, we'll start with you for this next question. 30-second response, the curveball. If you could possess one superhuman power, which one would it be and why?
Oh man, I've just been watching Heroes, so this has been a question on my mind. I think it would have to be superhuman speed because I always like the Flash, and I'd be able to get so much more done. There's just so many uses. If you could run around at the speed of light, I think that, I'd be able to do everything I've ever wanted to do, see everything, and, I would never run out of time. So, superhuman speed, vote OPP.
Ashley Day, OPP. I don't know that there's actually a superhero that has this ability, but I would like to be able to just know what people are thinking, know what people need, know what they want, so that I could just go out and help fix it. Unfortunately, in real life, it doesn't really work that way, so I'm going to do my best to try to make that up and try to get connected so that I can, in essence, have that superpower. So, yeah, thank you. Ashley Day, OPP.
Samantha Stinnett, OPP. I have a similar human strength that I would like. I would love to be able to read minds. I am a big fan of listening to people and really getting in touch with what they need, and I feel like reading their mind would really, you'd know the truth about what they wanted and what they really felt, and that would be extremely beneficial as a student leader and in life. Thank you.
Chris Wendell, Open People's Party. And if I were to have a superhuman power, it would be flying, being able to fly, especially over this campus, the area, the coastline, just everything, being able to see the view, I think would be amazing. And also another one I would want to have, I know it's the second one, but if my hands could go into fire and then you turn out the lights and you could see your hands, it would be kind of like a light show or something like that. But I think that would be pretty cool as a superhuman power. Chris Wendell for OPP.
Alan Romero for OPP. Well, a power I would like to have is the ability to stop time. Because I believe a lot of the problems that we have in AS in terms of getting legislation done is sort of the time problem. We just have a limited amount of time to do so many things. And if we could just stop time, we could get so much more done for the community of UCSB. Alan Romero, OPP.
I'm Ashish Patel, Students Party. If I had a superhuman power, it would be to be in more than one place at one time, because I feel like I'm everywhere all the time, and if I could just do that, there'd be a bunch of me everywhere, it'd be amazing. Thank you.
Paulina, Students Party, and if I could have a superpower, I'd like to be able to transform or metamorph into anything, like a raccoon or an animal or a whale. So we can just look into that perspective, and different life and see through a whole set of different lenses and eyes, so we could have a more full perspective on what's going on, so we can voice everyone's opinion, even, environmentally, the animals and just everything. Thank you. Students Party.
Radhika with Students Party. If I could have any superpower, I would have like Storm and X-Men, the ability to change the weather, because so much is tied to the weather. There's global warming. I could stop the habitats of animals from vanishing, and we could just do so much. And everybody loves a good weather, so I could make everybody's day.
Trevor Lyon, Students Party. I think I'd freeze time. I think that's a really good power. Time is really, really precious these days, especially in college. I feel like there's not enough minutes in the day. And also, I'd think up some really, really good answers for these questions if I could freeze time. So that would be a nice luxury that I don't have right now. So, Trevor Lyon, Students Party.
Thank you very much. This next question will be another 30-second response. We'll start with Trevor. Where did I do with it? Oh, here we go. What would you do if the Legislative Council took a stance on a bill or resolution that you did not agree with?
I definitely voice my concerns, let them know where I'm coming from, and make my perspective definitely my voice heard, because if I have those same qualms, chances are there's someone else out there who has similar qualms with the bill. So definitely bring those to the table and address those.
I think I have to put personal views beside, because I'm on Legislative Council, not for me, but for my constituents, so I have to think, what would they do? If they would also disagree with it, I would voice my opinion, but if I think my constituents would like this bill, I would go for it, because I'm not on Legislative Council alone, I'm there for all of them.
Paulina, Students Party, and if there was a bill I didn't agree with, I would voice my concern to the students on campus. I would visit different orgs and just reach out to people, make sure that they're aware that this bill is in the process of being passed, and just making sure that an educated vote is made, and I would take their concerns and make them my own, because I care. So, Students Party.
Ashish Patel, Students Party. I am definitely a vocal, very loud. I'm just a person who would take action right away. Definitely it's in the public interest, but at the same time, I feel that as on-campus rep, that it's up to me to make sure that students' voices are heard, and if it's going to affect them negatively, so that they should know, so they can take action and see what things are happening to them, so there will be a better experience here for them. Thank you very much. Ashish Patel, Students Party.
Alan Romero, OPP. Because we have so many people from different parts of what beliefs and whatnot, we are bound to run into conflicts in terms of what we believe in. And I understand that it's important that we hear each other out. And I will make certain that I will voice my opinion and express why I feel the way I do. And it's important to understand that there must be compromise, because not one person can dominate the whole realm of what should be done in university. Alan Romero, OPP.
Chris Wendell, Open People's Party. And being a rep on Legislative Council, gives you a lot of power. And people have to remember, it's not about you. It's, for me, it's not about me. It's about who you represent, who they represent. It's about who we represent. And I just make sure that everybody on Leg Council would understand that, myself as well, keep reminding myself. And yeah, Chris Wendell, Open People's Party.
Samantha Stinnett, running with OPP. I agree with a couple of my colleagues that have mentioned that it's not about what my voice is, it's about what the 5,000 on-campus residents that I would be wanting, that I would be representing, what they want and what would be best for them. It's important to me not to marginalize anyone's opinion and to make residents feel that their voice is being heard and they're not being shut out. Thank you.
Ashley Day, OPP. First off, my biggest goal is to be able to best represent the residents. So even if I disagree with something, I think it's been said earlier, to make sure that I double check and make sure that I think what I disagree with will fall in line with what the residents want me to represent them. But also I was proxying on the board the night that they did the parking bill and voted it off the ballot. And I did voice my opinion there, and I disagreed. I thought the residents and students should be able to vote. So I definitely would voice my opinion.
Narain Kumar, OPP. I would definitely make sure Legislative Council heard all opinions, especially if it was an issue I disagreed with. That said, if it is a legitimate issue that Ledge Council should be trying to handle, then by all means, even if a few people do disagree, it is something that they should be passing. However, oftentimes Ledge Council starts dealing with issues which it necessarily shouldn't be dealing with, which are beyond its own scope. And I think in those sort of cases where Ledge Council is doing things that may marginalize students in which they shouldn't be dealing with in the first place, then it is someone's job to go up to them and say, this is not our job, and we shouldn't be doing this. Narain Kumar, OPP.
All right, thank you, Narain. We're going to now move into our closing statements. You will each have a minute to conclude, to wrap it up, as it were. Narain, we'll start with you and move back on over to this way.
My name is Narain Kumar. I'm running with OPP for on-campus rep. I think I do have the experience for this job. I've been in hall council, I've been on core board, I've been representing students for the past 2 years now. I think I know what they want, I've talked to them, I've been listening to them in their meetings, and I think I can represent them on Ledge Council. I've also been working with program board this year to make sure that there's been, programming, and my job in program board was to represent the students. I think I've done this fairly well, and I would like to continue to make sure that students' voices, especially residents' voices, are heard on, issues. Many times people don't listen to what residents say because they, ignore them thinking, they're first years, they don't know what they want. That's not often true. While we may call them kids and say, oh, they don't know anything, they do know what they want. They deserve to be represented just like everybody else. So I would work to make sure that residents are involved in AS and that they're aware of what AS is doing. Narain Kumar, OPP.
Ashley Day, OPP. As Hall Council President this year, I've learned how to represent a large number of residents already. And I just believe that when it comes to AS, it really comes down to a lot of the fees that residents are paying need to go to help and benefit and better the residents' time here on campus. So definitely I want to be a big supporter of fiscal responsibility in this situation. Also, like I said before, communication, getting the residents' voice out there, letting them know that they can get involved and that everything is available to them and they have so many resources that they can take advantage of. I just want to make sure that residents really know that I have a heart for them and I want to see them really succeed and become great people here. So for communication and respect, vote Ashley Day, OPP.
Samantha Stinnett, OPP. I've connected so much in the past 2 years with this university, and I really just want to make sure that the residents coming in have the same opportunity. I've spent the last 2 years on RHA Chord Board. The first year I represented San Nicolas, which is upwards of 300 students, and this year as the Administrative Vice President, I've been representing all 5,000 students that live on campus. And I just feel that through that experience, I've really learned what students want and what they need here on campus, and I really want to bring that to AS. I just want to make sure the students' voices are heard, and after they've been heard, the actions are taken to really make them feel like they see changes that they want in their student government. So vote Samantha Stinnett, OPP.
Chris Wendell, Open People's Party. And I've noticed, just in my first year at UCSB, being a part of Hall Council and AS, that the best decisions come from the input of many people. And my priority would be to hear everybody at UCSB. My priority, of course, would be to connect those who live on campus with the rest of the school, but also to hear everyone else. And also to show people what their money that they're putting into AS is spent on, that affects them in some way. So to make UCSB the best place to be, vote Chris Wendell, Open People's Party for on-campus representative.
Hey UCSB, my name is Alan Romero, and I'm running for AS on-campus rep for next year. So far, we have heard all the stances and issues and opinions by different people gathered here today. If elected, I want to make sure that the power governing the students returns back to the students. No one should make decisions unfavorable to the community of UCSB. I regard it to the problem of lack of communication between the students and AS. If elected, I will do everything in my abilities to inform and educate the students. I'll do whatever it takes. If I have to be out there and tell students to about AS, then that's what I gotta do. I wanna make myself accessible to the students. Tabling, office hours, I'll be there so that they could come and just tell me everything they have to say. I have faith in the students to make the best informed decisions about what they wish to see in their community. Again, I'm Alan Romero, running for OPP on campus rep.
Ashish Patel, Students Party. As a hall rep this year, FT my tower has over 600 people in it, so there's going to be a lot of viewpoints, a lot of different types of people, and there's a lot of people who don't feel necessarily that they're involved completely, and I feel like that's the reason I got so involved in hall council, is because there's a lot of people here who feel that they're just a number, just a perm number here, but once they get involved, they really understand how important it is to be a part of the community here, and I try to get to know as many people as possible so I can know different viewpoints of how people feel here, and I feel as an on-campus rep, I can make a difference in the community just by representing a variety of interests. That's why I feel that Students Party is such a great party here, because we represent a variety of interests. We have a bunch of different people in our party, and they're all really committed. And aside from that, the communication between residents and me it has to be above and beyond, because a lot of people need to feel that I'm representing their interest, and Students Party will represent our needs. Thank you, Ashish Patel, Students Party.
Hi, I'm Paulina Buston with Students Party, and I believe that I'm very passionate at UCSB, and I love it here, and that's because I'm involved. I've been involved in Freshman Summer Start Program. I'm in Kapitarang Filipino, Vietnamese Student Association, AS Student Lobbying, Student Commission on Racial Equality, and Catholic IV, Real Life Epic, and I believe that I can truly represent the students because I'm actually out there. I'm reaching out to the students, making sure that their voices are heard, and next year when serving on AS Legislative Council, I believe I'll be able to represent them on a much more higher level with bills passed and everything, and I just want to empower the students and make it known to them that they do have the power to make a difference, that they can learn about these issues and do much more, and that AS did get a bill passed in Congress and is doing so much already. So thank you. Vote Students Party.
Radhika with Students Party. I think I'm highly prepared for this job. I've been involved with the EVPSA office. Sit on the investment board. I'm a treasurer for my hall council. I'm involved with student lobbying. I think all these activities, I've learned so much from them that I would be great on legislative council. I'm also a very open-minded person. My door is always open for concerns and suggestions, and this is why I would make a difference if I'd be elected to be on-campus rep.
Hi, I'm Trevor Lyon, running with Students Party. I feel that my experiences proxying on RHA Cord Board, advocating on behalf of students' rights with Office of Student Advocate, and my familiarity with student affairs through working at counseling have given me a breadth of knowledge and experiences that make me qualified to be a liaison between the students and associated students, and I feel that I have high visibility and I will be able to make myself available and accessible to all the on-campus residents and make sure that their concerns are voiced through me. Trevor Timo Line, Students Party.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Want to thank you for your candor and your participation today. Reminding you to pass on the word that all these forums are going to be available to be viewed at the AS website. So that'll be a good opportunity for folks to get more intimate knowledge who could not be with us today. And it will also remind you that elections are April 23rd through the 26th. So do spread the good word. And thank you for your time. Have a good day. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.